Hello, it's Floss. Thank you for joining me in the Grape Jelly Library, where we love to talk about books. Before we get started, please remember to like this video and give my channel a subscribe. Another thing I would like to mention is if you get excited when Starbucks puts out a new tumbler like I do, public service announcement in my area where I am from, that is Pennsylvania. The new blue tumbler is out and it is a beauty. It is ombre and it has little picks all going around it, and I wasn't a fan of it at first, but now I am, because it allows for a fantastic grip. So I don't know. The reason I like my tumblers so much is because it helps me to drink my water. If I have something pleasing to look at, then I want to pick it up, and then that helps me to get my water consumption in daily. So I don't know, that's a little trick that works for me. Maybe it will work for you. All right, so in today's video, we are going to do my February TBR. And I am, at the moment, a little bit ambitious. I don't know if I will succeed in those ambitions, but we're gonna set out to do that. Absolutely, give it our best go. All right, so I was looking for a book because I said to myself, before I read anything, before I read any book at all, I want to read Fox and I. I've been wanting to read that for so long, and I've been putting it off. And February is the month. So I began to peruse my shelves, and typical to my fashion, could not find it anywhere. So I had to reroute. And in doing so, I discovered that perhaps I would like to read The Council of Animals. And it is written by Nick McDonald. And then, determined to not give up my search for Fox and I continued to keep searching for that book. And then finally, I gave up. I couldn't find it. I gave up. So let's pick another book. And all the way up there in the corner, I found The Council of Animals. And my brain said, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. You were on this side down there. How did you get up there? Well, easy. When will I stop doing this? I don't know. Do you find yourself buying the same book, not realizing that you have it? I don't know how to rectify this in my mind. I don't know how to solve this problem. I don't want to carry around a list of books with me and refer to it every time I purchase a book. So I don't know if any of you out there have a suggestion. I could put it in my Goodreads, but I don't know. I don't know if that will work for me. But I got to do something because this is getting silly. Anyways, I guess I should read one of these since I have it down. I guess we will do that. When I moved this table out of the way to see what was down below, there was nothing there that caught my eye. So when I went to move the table back, I looked down so I wouldn't knock anything off of it, and lo and behold, on the table was Fox and I, An Uncommon Friendship by Catherine Raven. This is the story about, I believe she's a middle-aged woman, and she's just had enough. She needs to escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life, so she gets herself a little cottage type of residence in a forest like setting, and she begins to read, and every day at a certain time she notices that a red fox comes to visit her, and eventually gets closer each time. So she feels the need and safe enough to read to this fox every single day. And I want to know what happens with their relationship, how it came to be, what manifested from the relationship. And I don't think it has I think it's going to be a tearjerker for me. I'll just say that. So this is going to be my very first February. No, it's going to be my second February read. My first February read is going to be this, a merry little meet cute. I have shown this book before on my channel. It is my February book club's book of the month, so I have to get this read by the second Tuesday in February. So I not quite halfway through, but I would like to finish this before I start any February reads. All right, so it's going to be those 3 books for sure. And then in my brain, I'm like, I can't believe I can't find this book. I can't believe I'm so disorganized. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. So then I felt like I should probably read this, Get Shit Done by Jeffrey Gitomer. I read one of his books before, and I don't quite remember what it is. It was a little red book. And I didn't like the feel of the book. It was like itchy. I don't like the feel of itchy things, but that's besides the point. But anyways, I will get the name of that book and I will put it in my description. That book was phenomenal. And if you are in business, I feel it is a much needed read, very beneficial. But anyways, I like what Jeffrey has to say. And I find him to be, I have some stuff on my book. We will get that off maybe later. Anyways, I like what Jeffrey has to say. I find him to be very intelligent, and so far when Jeffrey talks, I listen. I like him. So maybe he can teach me a thing or two about getting shit done. I think I know how, but he might help me find a better way. All right, so keeping the theme of that notion, we're going to read Maria Semple's Today Will Be Different, because oftentimes I find myself doing the same shit, just a different day. There's nothing else I can say about that. So I don't know. I pulled this one off the shelf, and I think that at this stage in my life, this one should be very fitting. Let me see. It says it's outrageously funny, so I'm going to bank on that. Eleanor Flood knows she's a mess, but today she will tackle the little things. She will shower and get dressed. She will play with her son, Timby. She will initiate something with her husband, Joe, but then life happens and Eleanor's modest plan gets derailed. Today, it turns out, is the day Timby has decided to play sick to weasel his way into his mother's company. It's also the day Eleanor discovers that Joe's been telling his receptionist and not his wife that he's on vacation, when an encounter with a former colleague produces a relic from the past that threatens to expose a family secret. Eleanor comes completely undone. With all the heart and mad artistry that made Where'd You Go, Bernadette so beloved, Today Will Be Different is a wildly funny and unflinching exploration of motherhood, middle age, faith, and the risks of facing up to our former selves so we can truly begin living. And then, I chose this book, Metamorphosis by Frank Kafka. It's a very thin book, and even though I accidentally went and bought Evel Knievel without realizing that I was on a book ban, once I realized my faux pas, I said to myself, I was having such fun perusing my shelves and reading what I had that I no longer had the urge to go out there and buy any new books. I was going to say, sorry, new authors of 2023, but or even previous ones, but I said to myself, well, then why go and buy a new book? Let's just keep doing what we're doing until we reach 25, and who knows? Maybe once I surpass that number, I still will choose to keep reading the books on my shelf. And I no longer have that strong desire that I had in the beginning of this challenge to go and buy a book. My hand was itching to go get, but I talked myself down off the ledge, and now I am finding comfort and joy in reading what I have. So I am almost there, almost. I might be on book 20, but this is just the book I need to get me a little closer to my goal. Metamorphosis tells the tale of Gregor Samsa, a young salesman who wakes up one day to find he has turned into a kind of giant bug. Samsa has been a model of virtue for years, single-handedly supporting his parents and sister, but suddenly he finds himself an outcast in his own home, facing a world in which he no longer has a place. I don't know why this is sounding familiar to me. Is it because somebody recommended it to me? Or, I don't know, but we're going to do it. And then this book, I am going to do the Audible version of the Luminaries, Eleanor Catton. I am going to read this with Alan over at Big Hard Books. He has a Voxer, if any of you know what that is. It is an app where you can communicate verbally or through text, and we can talk about anything that you wish to, or we can read books together and discuss it. So Alan has a Voxer. I do not, but Alan does. So you can hop over on Alan's Voxer if you would like to read this with us. I'm going to do the Audible version of this because it is a bigger one, and I would like to take it on the go with me while I'm traveling in my car to and fro, groceries and errands, post office, fitness studio, whatever, work. So this is the one that I'm going to choose to take along with me in my travels. It is 1866, and Walter Moody has come to stake his claim in New Zealand's gold rush. On the stormy night of his arrival, he stumbles across a tense gathering of 12 local men who have met in secret to discuss a series of unexplained events. A wealthy man has vanished, a prostitute has tried to enter life, and an enormous cache of gold has been discovered in the home of the luckless drunk. Moody is soon drawn into a network of fates and fortunes that is as complex and exquisitely ornate as the night sky. The Luminaries, Eleanor Catton. So that is what I am going to be working on in the month of February. Like I said, I feel it's a bit ambitious, but we have an array of different sized books, from the big to the very, very small. So maybe I will maybe I will see my ambitions through. Comment below, let me know, will you be reading any of these books? And if not, comment below and let me know what you plan to read. I would love to know that, because oftentimes that is how I get my inspiration, from what you are reading. I love reading suggestions. I am the type that will stop what I'm doing to go and you know, pick up the book that you're recommending. So there's that. I am off to work today. It is Sunday and I work every Sunday. So I'm gonna go do that. I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday morning or evening or afternoon or whatever time. Well, just a Sunday in general. Have a beautiful Sunday. And until my next video, know that I love you. Be well, be good, and be reading.